Just hold still, my sweet children. It'll all be over soon. Eternal life is coming.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Science Theory, the show where this episode concludes Season 1. Yep, you heard that right. Science Theory Season 1 is now being complete with this episode. The majority of Season 1 was about space. This season is about plants and their roots. So don't miss out on Season 2, Episode 1 on April 16th, 2024. Now let's get into the actual theory. So, can you bring people back to life using the power of science and knowledge? At first, you might be thinking that there's no way, but say there was. You see, I was thinking, the brain is the most important thing you need in the body, right? Except for the heart. One of the most important parts of the brain is the cerebral cortex. It contains all of the lobes, like the frontal lobe. You can live with minor and small frontal lobe trauma, but if the full cerebral cortex gets destroyed, you're cooked. According to my research, if you are biologically dead, meaning the brain is disintegrated, in simple and lazy terms, no. There is only one way possible, and that's clinically. If a patient is not breathing for a few, and by a few I mean long, but for a few minutes they aren't breathing, you can bring them back by clinical help. Here's what the article by verywellhealth.com says. It begins with whether we're discussing clinical death or biological death. Both mean the patient is technically dead, but each refers to a different level of permanency. One is fixable, the other is not. Biological is actually the brain. Clinically is blood flow and how you can bring it back. So it's saying that clinical death is different from biological death. But let's talk about this for a few seconds. What is death anyway? Death is when the brain shuts down. Death can happen by many things, but it's basically when your body is fighting something very bad. If the body is not strong enough, it can shut down and give up. Your brain just shuts down, everything else shuts down. Think about it like a bike. If one part of a bike breaks down, the whole system won't work because it needs that one part to function, and that one part to function is the brain. That is how death works. So that's biological death. Now let's move on to clinical death. Clinical death is when the patient is unconscious, basically dead, and for a few minutes their blood flow stopped. So that's what clinical death is. But remember, the brain is not dead in clinical death. You're just unconscious and your blood's not working. But you can reverse that by many different tools that doctors use. So that's why you can reverse clinical death and bring the patient back to life. But hey, that's just a theory. A science theory. Keep theorizing. Thank you guys for joining in on this Season 1. I hope you guys will like the first episode of Season 2 coming soon. And that is, how do plants come back to life? How do plants do it? That's our first topic for Season 2. I'll see you guys later. Have a nice day.